they have created.
Newly re-elected Republican Congresswoman Cammack of Florida, member of the House Homeland Security Committee, joins me now. Thank you so much for coming here to talk to us today. You accompanied McCarthy on this border trip. He says that when the GOP takes majority, he wants to hold these hearings literally right there on the border to force Democrats to go there. What do you say to the White House calling this a publicity stunt?
It's absolutely absurd coming from an administration that they have done absolutely nothing but facilitate the trafficking of children and drugs across our southern border. Their plan is they have no plan. And to criticize Republicans who have not only put forward a plan through the Commitment to America, but we have offered legislation time and time again for the past 23 months, of which Nancy Pelosi has soundly rejected and refused to have a vote on the House floor. I think it's incredibly disingenuous that the Democrats are saying, oh, well, I think we can work together on a couple of these issues. We have tried. They have rejected every single attempt that we have put forward to secure the border, support our agents, to stop the trafficking of children, to stop the flow of narcotics. They have done absolutely nothing. And now they're going to reap what they sow. I think that we need to be very aggressive in immediately securing the border and supporting our agents, because they have not received 1 ounce of support from this administration since Biden took office.
Absolutely. And speaking of disingenuous, since you just brought up that word, I mean, talk about the lack of sympathy to those Border Patrol agents. And in fact, just 4 recently committing suicide. The morale is at an all-time low. The illegal immigrants crossing our border at an all-time high. And then you've got the DHS Secretary Mayorkas testifying under oath last week that the border is secure and that he's also claiming the border is closed. And clearly that is not true. If you check out the number of migrant encounters per fiscal year, we've got them. There were over 1.7 million in 2021, over 2.3 million in 2022, and 2023 fiscal year already not looking any better, with more than 230,000 migrants encounters in October. That's the highest number for October in years. So either Mayorkas is lying or he is absolutely clueless about what's happening on the border. And that is why the GOP wants to start holding news conferences there to show them what really is reality.
Absolutely. I have had the opportunity to question Alejandro Mayorkas myself in front of the House Homeland Security Committee multiple times. I think about 5 or 6. And each time he has lied outright. And when I press him on the very numbers that his department publishes, he says that they're inaccurate. When I confronted him on the 1.4 million illegals who have been, quote unquote, paroled into the United States on a 5-year temporary system where they in 5 years are supposed to turn themselves in and so they can be deported, which is just laughable. He says, oh, that's not happening. That's wrong. And then he presents this righteous indignation front where he just says, oh, you're disrespectful of the agents. No, you know what's disrespectful? Not allowing these agents to do their job. They're not babysitters. They're not processors. They need to get back on the line. And what I saw in El Paso firsthand was just 12 miles of border that unpatrolled, not a single agent. Think of the national security.
I want to talk about this legal letter that's coming out that's basically stating that more than a dozen Republican attorneys generals are urging a judge to keep Title 42 in place, which has been used to expel migrants to mitigate the COVID pandemic. The judge ruled this month that the Biden administration must end the policy in late December, giving them the time to prepare for an expedited or expected influx of illegal immigrants. Title 42 was obviously a Trump-era policy. Those states that are now urging to keep it in place include Arizona, Louisiana, Alabama, Alaska, Kansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, Nebraska, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wyoming. These are Republican states that are desperately trying to make a change. And this administration is pushing them tooth and nail to make no difference whatsoever. Do you think they'll have any luck with this by this letter that they just sent to a D.C. judge?
Yeah, I think so. What we have seen as a result of the open border policies that Biden has allowed to continue and facilitate is that every state in the United States is a border state. Every town in America is a border town. And these governors have a responsibility to protect their citizens of their state. They can't do that when you have gang members, terrorists, fentanyl killing 300 people a day in the country. You can't protect your citizens when you have an open border with anyone who wants to come across from over 151 different countries is coming across.
Yeah.
So I think they will be successful. But the other thing that I'll add on Title 42 is that it was never designed to be permanent, but it was the only tool left in the toolbox that our agents have in order to stop this flow.